In our big story tonight, Montanans all across the Treasure State have dealt with significant increases in property taxes. And the ones who may have been hit hardest by this issue are individuals with fixed incomes. Good Thursday evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Ren Wadsworth. Taylor Richardson spoke with local homeowners to see how rising property taxes are impacting them and their families.
Kathleen Kimball expected her retirement to be mostly focused on going to local concerts around Missoula and living comfortably with her husband in the house they've lived in since 1992. But their property tax bill jumped from $3,200 in 2018 to nearly $5,000 in 2023, putting them in financial distress that could make them lose their home several years down the road at this rate.
It just seems like intentional cruelty, and it really blows a hole in the concept of retirement.
Randy Kadish, who has lived in a condo in Missoula for the past 8 years and is on a fixed income, says that his condo reappraisal went from $130,000 to $244,000 and that his tax bill has increased by 300% in the past year.
You know, it's like every month I'm taking money out of my retirement fund, and it's caused me a lot of emotional stress.
The Missoula County Treasurer has been critical of the state for allowing this spike in property taxes, and he says this could have been prevented by the Montana legislature.
This was an opportunity for the state to take a leadership role in reducing the cost of home ownership, and they chose to go a different route.
In 2022, the Department of Revenue saw that Montana property reappraisals increased by 40 to 60% in some areas. This led to the department warning the state's legislatures ahead of their 2023 session that Montana property taxes were going to skyrocket and they needed to lower the state's mill rate in order for property taxes to stay the same. However, the mill rate was not lowered and Montanans have seen significant jumps in their property tax costs in 2023.
They raised taxes on homeowners by $250 million. $85 million went to the state, $140 million of it went to commercial properties. Only $25 million of it stayed locally. And it wasn't the county commissioners that raised your taxes. It was the state of Montana. It was the legislators.
To address this issue, the governor has launched a property tax task force, which will have its first meeting this month and will try to come up with recommendations to reform the property tax system. But as of right now, Montanans like Kathleen and Randy can only hope for change.
I've worked my whole life, and I'd like to keep my home. I'd like to stay here. Something has to give. Something has to change.
From Nonstop Local News, I'm Taylor Richardson.
Alrighty, thanks for that, Taylor. Now, this dispute over rising property taxes has been the source of ongoing conflict between county officials and the governor's office for a while now. And if you want to read more on this debate, please visit our website at nonstoplocal.com. Alrighty, we turn our attention to our chief meteorologist, Tracy Smith. You can see us see her rather, right there. Hi there, Tracy.
Hi there, Ren. Well, so far throughout the day, we were looking at more pleasant conditions, temperatures rising above average in some areas, specifically Livingston and Baker. Now, as we move more into the overnight period, we are expected to see increasing cloud cover. You'll notice that temperatures are ranging between the 30s and 40s. Out of south central Montana, we are looking at increasing cloud cover, moving in right around midnight, dropping down to the low 30s by 8 a.m. And then Miles City looking at another round of possible fog in the eastern plains, down into the low 30s by the early morning hours, with afternoon temperatures once again climbing up into the 50s before we start to see cooler conditions and a chance of moisture moving in over the weekend.
Alrighty, thank you for that, Tracy. Turning our attention over to the crime tracker now. The Gallatin County Sheriff's Office says they have arrested an 18-year-old suspect in connection to a series of street signs thefts in the county. The sheriff says they have now recovered 46 of the 49 stolen signs from various locations in Gallatin County. Some of the signs were found in the Gallatin River, and the sheriff's office adds that the process to retrieve them proved to be incredibly dangerous, as swimmers had to enter ice-cold, fast-moving waters to get a hold of them. As the search for the remaining signs continues, the sheriff's office is reminding people that these thefts not only create needless expenses for taxpayers in the county, they also endanger drivers on the road until those signs are put back up. If you have any relevant information about the case that could help the sheriff's office with their investigation, they're asking that you please call their non-emergency line via the number on your screen. That's 406-582-2100. And if you're a fan of nostalgia, you're probably familiar with yesteryear's antique mall downtown. And now they're changing locations to one of Billings' oldest buildings. Connor McAvoy reports.
Yesteryear's antique mall has been a staple of history here in the Magic City. And after 18 years, the mall will be moving here to the historic Hart Albin building downtown, just a couple of blocks away, which staff say is fitting for a place keeping local history alive. Yesteryear's Antiques has expanded over its time of operations on North 29th Street, filling all 3 levels of its original building. The new location will have closer access to other businesses in the Hart Albin building, including restaurants, office space, and housing. And for the next month, employees will be moving all of the trinkets, framed photographs, and clothes over there. A set of cabinets from the Hart Albin building from the early 20th century were donated to be brought back to the building following the relocation of the business. Dave Howland, a vendor at Yesteryear's, sells many forms of decorative glass and has been doing so at Yesteryear's for more than a decade. He's excited to see the new change to Yesteryear's and hopes to see more business as a result.
We hope everybody's saving their change and are anxious to meet us at the grand opening on the March 1st net. And everybody's got to come. And I do believe with all that has gone on since it's been announced that we got a lot more people, new people, that are going to be anxious to see what's going on too. So it's been fun.
Howland, as well as others at Yesteryear's, hope to have the store up and running at the new location as soon as possible, and that community members who are able help move their inventory out of the old location to make the transition easier and faster. I'm Connor McAvoy, Nonstop Local.
Alrighty, Connor, thank you for that. New information from the office of Governor Gianforte proclaiming February as Career and Technical Education Month in Montana. The governor also celebrated the expansion of Build Montana, which provides high school students with work-based learning opportunities to Great Falls Public Schools. Last year, Governor Gianforte signed 3 bills into law to support schools in offering internships, apprenticeships, and CTE programs. In addition, the governor proposed and established the Montana Trades Credit in 2021 to provide employers a credit for employee education and training. Declaring February as CTE Month in Montana and signing the proclamation, Governor Gianforte says in a statement in part, quote, "Everybody wins when students have access to personalized work-based learning paths to prepare them for their future. We'll continue to promote access to programs like Build Montana and create greater opportunity for more Montanans," end quote. Well, today in Laurel, a brand new Albertsons grocery store welcomed customers in for a soft launch ahead of their grand opening tomorrow. Trevia Forte stopped by to learn more about what the new store brings to the community.
As the only grocery store in Laurel, locals from here all the way to Park City will no longer have to drive into Billings just to get a few items off their grocery list.
After almost a year of construction, the new Albertsons will be a valuable addition to the community. That's according to Kathy Holland, Communications and Public Relations Director for the Intermountain Division of Albertsons stores. Shoppers will now have the option to choose from fresh produce, baked goods, sushi, and a deli. The store also highlights local producers with their selection of beer and meat. Right now, the closest place to buy food in Laurel is at the Walmart Supercenter. But Laurel resident Augusta Williams says not everything she needs can be bought at Walmart. So once a week, she and her husband would have to make a trip into Billings.
It's definitely like 20 minutes one way, and then fighting all the Billings traffic, depending on what time of day you went. It honestly was a nightmare, but a lot of people have been excited for this, and we have friends that live in Park City, friends that live on the outskirts of Laurel, and Fromberg and Bridger, and all these places that we know travel here once a week, and the only option they had was Walmart. So I think that it's definitely an advantage to have more than one option. And I know a lot of people love Albertsons, so they'll be excited for that for sure.
Deb and Donna worked in the building back when it housed the Laurel IGA and stopped by today to see the new Albertsons. And both described the moment as emotional but exciting.
We're so excited and had to get down here right away. Been coming by here and kind of peeking in the windows and seeing how they're coming and everything. And it does look a lot different, but it's beautiful, clean and brand new, and it's something that Laurel needed.
Not only is the grocery store's location convenient for shoppers, but also for the employees who are now able to work closer to home.
The Albertsons here in Laurel officially has its grand opening tomorrow at 6 a.m. You won't want to miss out. With Nonstop Local, I'm Travia Forte.
Alrighty, thank you for that, Travia, and everybody on the other side of the screen. We're going for a bit of a break, but on the other side, Chief Meteorologist Tracy Smith has a full look at your weather forecast, so stick around.